So welcome to Stepping Stones to AAC. What's the weather like? So my name is Brittany Toney, and I am a speech language pathologist and Saltillo consultant. And so welcome to our Stepping Stones to AAC classroom. This is an interactive classroom, and I always forget to grab that bit.ly link. So
I will get
if
there.
Awesome. Forgot again. So thank you, Heather. As I mentioned, my name is Brittany Toney. I am the Bitmoji with the umbrella, and I am sad that it's raining. It's actually not raining here in Cincinnati right now, but it is supposed to be raining tomorrow. So we just wanted to talk about the weather with you tonight, just with the spring coming and the change of seasons. Just thought it would be a fun thing to talk about, a fun activity. And I will let Heather introduce herself and talk a little bit more about the classroom.
I'm Heather Prenovo. I'm a speech language pathologist as well, and an AT consultant for Minnesota and Wisconsin for Saltillo. And our Bitmoji classroom got a makeover recently because we've just had so many fun activities that our original bookcase was overflowing. So we're going to be posting in just a second here the link to go to this interactive classroom. There's a bit.ly link in the chat window there. And so when you go to the interactive classroom, you're able to click on the various icons on the shelf, and that's going to take you to our previously recorded sessions for different topics. We have all of our sessions recorded and up on our website, and the handouts are there as well. So this will be a direct link that would take you to maybe the Halloween one, or we can go and find the Let's Cooking. The poster on the wall behind Brittany also will take you to some resources. You access our manual core board, and the icon for the Go symbol is going to take you to some Let's Teach Core resources that you can download and print from our website. And if you click on either Brittany or I in the interactive classroom, that'll actually take you to find your local Saltillo rep. So if you want some more information about any of the stuff we're talking about, more trainings, more information about devices, feel free to reach out to your local rep.
Okay, so AAC is a journey, and we just want to remind you of that. This training is really just to kind of get you started on that journey or give you ideas to keep going. So we hope that we can do that tonight when we're talking about the weather.
So we're going to start out, talking about our materials. So one of the handouts you have is our Stepping Stones to AAC organizational planner. And this is what we'll go through tonight. We'll kind of fill it out together to give you some practice with it, but you can take the blank copy and use it or hand it out and share it with others. And so we're going to walk through these 3 steps of choosing core vocabulary words that we want to target in an activity. So tonight, as Brittany mentioned, we're going to talk about the weather, but you can use this for any activities that you're doing. And then step 2, we're going to talk about how you can plan out questions and comments to be modeling with those core words. And then step 3 is how are you going to model it, and what level language are you going to be using? So we'll walk through these steps together and fill this out. And if you want to jot it down as we go or keep it blank, that's up to you. One of the other materials in the tab there is our Stepping Stones to AAC reference tool, and this just kind of walks through and explains each of those steps on the organizational tool. That's a nice reference afterwards. You're like, okay, what did they explain here? Or again, if you're sharing it with family members or other team members, kind of walking you through on how do you plan these activities and targeting core vocabulary words.
Okay, so let's start with the weather. That's what the title is, so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Why are we talking about the weather? I kind of mentioned before, it's the change of seasons right now. We're coming into spring, and my allergies are already just loving it. Sarcasm. So weather is part of our everyday life. We have to know what the weather is like outside so that we know if we can go outside and play, or we know what to wear for the day. If it's cold, we don't want to wear shorts, right? So weather is also often discussed during circle time or morning meeting. And often people talk about the weather to start a conversation. That's almost always a point of conversation for small talk, when, especially if you don't know someone as well. Oh, what's the weather like where you live? You know, talking about that is also something that can be social. So just thinking about these things as we go through. This screenshot is in your materials as well. That you can download the 96 location word power low tech board. This is based off of word power 60 basic, which I'm going to be showing later tonight. But just so you know, you can download this and use this throughout the training to help you think of some core words that we are going to be targeting throughout the training, as well as core words that you can model with your client when you are talking with them about the weather. So we're doing things a little bit differently, similar to last time, but if you didn't join us last time, I mean, you've joined us in the past, we are going to just switch things up a little bit. So we'll see how this goes. Heather did a wonderful job last time, so I hope I make it as seamless as she did.
It'll be beautiful.
Thanks. So when we're talking about the weather, what are some things that we can say or we can talk about? So what is the weather like? What is the weather like today? So, you know, using one of those question words, what? That is a core word. What is the weather like today? We can model that on our device or our low-tech board. Is it hot or cold? Is it rainy or snowy? Maybe what will we wear? Where is also on that low-tech board on that, and in Word Power 60 Basic, you have to kind of go down a couple levels, but it's there. It's a great word as well. So let's keep going. And so I'm going to switch, hang on a second, I'm going to switch my screen here. Can you guys see this okay?
Yes.
Okay. There we go. Okay, so and I have my lesson pick symbols up here on the right-hand side, but what is the weather like today? What should we talk about? I don't know if you can see my blue square kind of moving about the screen, but what do you guys think? So this is where I'm going to ask for participation, not differently than we've done in the past, but I think it was fun. Should we talk about windy? I know here tomorrow I mentioned it's supposed to rain all day. Should we talk about snowy weather or sunny weather or hot weather? What do you guys think?
I know what I want to talk about because I've been dealing with rain for 2 days. I'm hoping it doesn't turn to snow tonight in Minnesota, but you know, that's just me. What do you guys think? Type in the chat window, which weather should we discuss tonight for our activity? Sunny for sure.
Sunny for sure.
Pauline
All right,
and I are on the same boat. Oh, Rajul, cloudy. Well, there are clouds on our sunny day. So if they're puffy clouds, right?
Yeah, there are a few clouds in there. Okay, we'll talk about the sunny day. Gives us options.
Exactly.
Okay, so bear with me as I try to figure this out. Okay. So when we're talking about what it feels like outside when it's sunny, we were probably going to say that it's either hot, or today here in Cincinnati, it was warm. It wasn't really hot, but it was like 70 degrees. It was kind of wet though. You know, if I had to describe what it felt like outside, it was wet. The ground was wet in the morning. At the end of the day, it kind of dried up a little bit. So we can talk about how that feels, how the weather feels. Okay, and as I'm going through this, think of some of these core words that I'm saying or that we're talking about, okay? All right, so what should we wear? What should we wear when it's sunny outside? And I'm gonna pull up my lesson pics here, and we can dress these little guys as we're talking about it. So give me some, when it's sunny outside, we can, what would you wear? Just type it in the chat window. We're gonna put some clothes, well, they already have clothes on, but
Shorts, definitely. We could give her some shorts to go on her.
Oh, it logged me out. Hang on.
I know, that is the downside, right? Sunglasses, that's what I was going to think of too, a t-shirt. With the clouds and or sun, maybe we would want an umbrella.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I like umbrella. Okay, sorry guys. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so let's he already has shorts on, but maybe she wants to wear some purple shorts. Oh, those are big. Okay, so we'll resize those, put some shorts on her.
And the fun thing is with this activity,
flip-flops,
if you haven't done it before, is that you can interact with your AAC user and have them, you know, picking out colors.
Yep. Oh, I don't need to drag it. I just have to click it. And
Click it, I know. It's hard to get used to. Flip-flops is definitely, yes, swimsuits.
You can also do games through lesson picks on here as well, which is kind of cool. Flip-flops, a swimsuit. That's a good one if we're going to the beach maybe. What did somebody else say? A t-shirt. That girl has long sleeves and that's too hot to wear outside when it's...
We got to get her dressed for the right weather.
Okay. I know I used to talk about this with my students all the time. You know, what should we wear? You're gonna put on the t-shirt because it feels hot. I like hot weather. Let's put some flip-flops in there. I can't spell.
Ooh.
Okay. Sandals. Yep, that's another great word to use. So maybe this person, I don't know. And then we said an umbrella to...
Because those clouds that Rajul had in there, they might bring us rain, unfortunately.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I
or
mean,
it'll just protect us from the sun.
Right. I don't know about where you guys live, but here it's, you know, in Ohio, it changes like daily. So,
oh, yeah, we joke in Minnesota, we can have all 4 seasons in one day. So,
oh, same here. So, yeah. Okay. So, when we're talking about this, we can say, what can we wear? What's the weather? It's sunny. I like sunny weather. Feels hot. Feels warm. Wear shorts. Wear sunglasses. Okay. So with that in mind, I don't know if I can do this. Hang on, I gotta switch back. Bear with me. I don't know why it won't let me do this okay. So what are some core words that we could use to talk about the weather?
Or what are some of the words that you heard Brittany using in her modeling? So when you're filling this out, picking some words that would be good to model in that activity. So I know I heard you say where and what.
What? Where, feel, I like that. There's really...
And I was thinking of the other where too, W-E-A-R.
Oh, where, sorry.
I think you said both, but...
Homophone, silly. Okay. Maybe do you like hot weather? I don't like rainy weather or wet weather.
And the nice thing with this is there's no right or wrong answer. And depending upon your comfort level for modeling or thinking about core vocabulary, start small. If you want to just start with 1 or 2 words, great. Plan 1 or 2 words and then slowly build up as you get more comfortable. Put on, drink, yes, all sorts of great things.
Love it. Okay. So the next step, if my slide will advance, there we go, is talking about open-ended questions. So in order to encourage communication from AAC users, when we're talking to them and when we're asking them questions, it's best to keep our questions open-ended. And if you're not unfamiliar with what an open-ended question is, it's just a question that cannot be answered with just yes or no. This encourages communication and opportunities to not only model, but opportunities for your AAC user to respond in a variety of ways, not just with yes and no. So we're going to think of some open-ended questions together, but just to get you thinking about what an open-ended question is, which one is open-ended? What is the weather like today, or is it cold outside?
And you can do 1 and 2, or the first one, Chelsea says. Number 1, Alicia says.
Great job. Yay.
I would agree.
Yep, good. So yeah, you guys are experts. So what is the weather like today? We can say it's cold and wet. We can say it's hot or warm. It's hot and sunny. Is it cold outside? We can only say yes, or we can say no. So that would be, number 1 would be the open-ended question. So with that, what are some open-ended questions for the word what?
You can type them in the chat window, and using question words is great because we can write all sorts of open-ended questions, right? So I think one of the ones that you modeled for us, Brittany, what is the weather? What should we wear? What can you wear?
Yeah, good.
What do you like?
Yeah. Do you like to wear, maybe?
Mm-hmm. And again, you can use different lengths of questions depending upon your AAC user.
So I'm just gonna.
Right. Yeah, and so if you're going to use, especially if you're using any songs in your lessons or in your activities, target that word. So you could, instead of doing what for the question that you're targeting, you could target how.
So what are some open-ended questions for the word like? I put one that Heather said, what do you like? Maybe what do you like to wear? What would you like to wear today?
And with these, if you want like in the question, or it can be in the response to your question. And it could be as simple as, do you like?
Oh, that's great. What do you like to do when it's sunny? Good. Yeah. What type of weather do you like?
Yeah, and we can just say like, question mark.
Yeah, like it? Like weather? Like hot? Like sun? Yeah. Okay, what about where? I think we can reuse again.
Mm-hmm. Repetition,
Where?
repetition.
Sunny, maybe. What else for where? Any other thoughts?
What do you like to wear?
Mm-hmm.
We can reuse that one. What should you wear? Yep.
What should you wear? I like that.
And maybe if we're doing a retail activity, what did you wear to the beach? What did you wear in the rain?
When do you wear a coat? Love it. Look at those fill-ins. I see you. Yeah. When do you wear a coat? Sorry, it's taking me back. Okay. All right. So let's look at the next. There we go. Possible comments. So if your child is not yet, or student, is not yet responding to open-ended questions, you can model comments. So this would kind of be in response to your own question, and they're not responding after you wait for like 10 seconds or more. After you wait for them to respond, you can model a comment that you might say in response to your own question. So you can write down 1 to 2 comments that you want to model for your child in response to your question. You want to keep in mind that we want to be just above or at or just above their language level. So what I mean by that is no more than 2 to 3 words beyond how many they are currently saying. So if your client is only using one word, more or less, to communicate wants and needs, you only want to be modeling 2 to 3 words more than that. So maybe 3 to 4 words. You're only showing them the words on the device, maybe 3 or 4 words beyond what that one word phrase. So we want to keep it simple enough that they can keep up with what you're saying, but challenge them a little bit so they can see those words in a longer phrase. So with that in mind, what are some comments that we could make with the, well, yeah, this one you can't really, but.
You will be answering the question. So after you asked the weather question, you might have to model what the response is if they're not responding yet. And that's okay. That what was in our question, and now we can model the appropriate response. So I'm going to say cold and rainy. But I want it to be bright and sunny.
Yes. Yeah, I want sunny.
Mm-hmm.
Sticking with that 3-word phrase there.
And what does it feel like is our other question. So yeah, we could say feels warm.
Yep. Feels warm. We could say like sun. No like pants. Who don't like to wear pants and just want to wear shorts.
You know.
Even in 30-degree weather, I've had them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts you guys have about some comments? Maybe comments for where? You can use the word in the comment that you're modeling, or you can, in just response to your question, as Heather was saying, maybe model something a little bit different. Like it? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Easy one.
And if you want to expand, I like it, you like it, no like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about where? For where? W-E-A-R.
I wear flip-flops. Or the response to your question, I wore a raincoat. I know that's a question we often get asked about the grammar aspect. No jacket, yes. Normally if we were talking about something we did before, we'd say, I wore a raincoat, and we might only have the present tense verb on the screen, and it's okay to show them where that word is. A lot of systems, you can change the tense of the word, but if they're just starting out, you can still say the word I wore, and you're showing them where. So they get the idea of this is where it's going to be.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so I filled in the rest of it here so you can have an idea of what it might look like. Just because of time, I'm going to jump to the next screen and it'll still be on there. But here's where we can find the words on our device. And again, this is the low-tech board that we gave you. I'm going to show you in a minute what modeling on the device might look like with the Word Power 60 basic vocabulary. You can do it with any vocabulary. But as you can see in step 3, this is just how we might model those 2- and 3-word phrases, kind of putting it all together. We've modeled we have our script for our questions and our comments. Now this might be how we model that, putting it all together into one kind of cohesive unit. So here's where we can find our words on our low-tech board, like what and where. So I just put a little square around those with like a shape, but you can do this you can either highlight around the low-tech board, you can cut out a square in the middle of a Post-it note and put it around there just to help you remember what word maybe that you're targeting with your client during the session. You can also put a border around the words on the actual device. And it's a setting that you can change. to help you remember. So just some ideas. Okay, I'm going to flip to my, let me know if you can see my doc cam here.
Looks
Let me
good.
make this a little bigger. Okay, so if we're thinking about what we're talking about wearing, there's a couple different ways that you can get to the weather pages, and I wanted to show you guys because I think it might be helpful. So this is, again, this is Word Power 60 Basic. If we say, you know, what is the weather like? Sorry, I'm turning it up so you can kind of hear it.
Like.
What is the weather like? We could say something like, what you, and then I'm going to go to, sorry, I'm having my actions. Where? What you wear?
What you wear?
What will you wear today? You can also go to groups, and then there's the weather page there. It is hot and sunny.
Sun.
There's lots of sun outside. I like sun. Sun feels nice. I want more sun. Okay. There's another place you can go to find, if you go to time, activities, and then there's a calendar time. And this one has in there built in, it's pretty cool. The weather is hot. Or the weather is warm. So there's just some different ways that you can model. I like wearing shorts.
Slippers.
Oh, sorry. I meant to put shorts.
You're ready for bed. It's slippers time.
Ready for bed. I like wearing shorts. And then we could say what you like. What you like to wear. What questions do you still have? How did you feel about all of that we went over? And then what might your next steps be? I will throw up our emails here if you have other questions.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.